Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Tense calm remains in Spanish Town despite resumption of commercial activities. Attempted bombing of St. Catherine Parish court fails. And later in sports, West Indian Hayley Matthews and Sherfin Rutherford naming ICC ODI Team of the Year. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kerry-Ann Simpson. Here are the details. Despite assurances from the security forces in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, several areas of the old capital remain tense. O'Shane Masters has this TVJ News update.
President of the St. Catherine Chamber of Commerce, Dennis Robotham, says while businesses are operational, people are still scared to shop.
Commercial activity has begun. There's a semblance of normalcy. Most businesses have opened. As expected, we will see the influx of customers and people as time goes on. It takes up to 2 to 3 weeks before you see a complete return to normalcy.
Now, the area has been tense since the police fatal shooting of Othniel Loban, otherwise called Thickman. He's said to be the alleged leader of the Spanish Town-based One Order gang. Commanding officer for the St. Catherine North Police, Hopton Nicholson, says things are back to normal in the space. However, he noted that some areas in the town have less foot traffic. Nonetheless, he says the police and military continue to maintain a presence.
The community of Tars, Meadows and Elizabeth is still under curfew, and we hope to have a peaceful day. We are here for the long haul, and I think the general citizenry, they are quite pleased with our presence, but I can assure you that the increased presence will continue throughout into the weekend, and we hope that all law-abiding citizens just cooperate with us. Sometimes a little inconvenient, some stop and search, some vehicular checkpoint and so forth. So we ask that they cooperate with us.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, there was an attempt to firebomb the St. Catherine Parish Court this morning. When the staff arrived, they saw elements of cocktail bombs on the compound. But the senior judge was not fazed and continued proceedings. Based on information received, proceedings at the parish court are ongoing. In the meantime, criminologist Dr. Jason Mackay says the disruptions to businesses, schools and court proceedings in the old capital yesterday as a result of violence show that regular police practices will not help to curb Jamaica's gang problem. Speaking today on the morning agenda on Power 106 FM, Dr. Mackay said the level of crime and violence in Jamaica in the last 50 years is not a normal law enforcement problem. He says Jamaica should follow other countries and implement stricter laws that will result in persons being detained for prolonged periods as law enforcement seeks to topple gangs. To other news, the Education Ministry says it is working to ensure the successful implementation of the new transformation system. It says if that doesn't yield the desired results, the government will have to reassess and revisit its strategy. Shamela Pullen reports.
According to Permanent Secretary in the Education Ministry, Dr. Kassan Troop, a key element of the ministry's strategy is the integration of more technology in teaching and learning. One of the main objectives is to automate administrative tasks, freeing teachers to focus on instruction.
Sometimes the teachers spend a lot of time trying to settle the class, mark the register, mark 2 questions. We are removing that in very short order from our teachers. So right now we have our developers. We have Ricardo in the room with us who is working with us. Teachers can now generate lesson plan, customize lesson plan in 30 seconds. You push in that data into our AI system, in our virtual school solution. You tell it what is happening with the children, what they need, the style of the child, and the system exports or puts out a report on how to teach this child.
The initiative is currently underway in 56 schools across the island. Dr. Troop says teachers are now saving time as they no longer have to manually write lesson plans as well.
We have taken it further. This one is not fully rolled out yet, but we are putting the finishing touches. The teachers now can have the students do a math question on their desk with their book, snap a picture, upload it to our AI, and it marks it immediately. And it gives the student feedback on a set of questions, topics, how did you do on this, how much more work do you need, and what the teacher needs to do.
She says the ministry is close to monitoring the progress and will provide additional support by deploying specialists to schools as needed.
We call on our parents and our students. Part of Singapore's success is self-directed, self-paced learning. Students, you have to maximize your time. We have put materials out there, questions of the day, QR codes. We have been sending pieces of work under our platform. You can journey and study. You can read and study. There are lessons, videotape lessons, snippets of what's going on in other areas that you can read while you are on your journey, while you're standing at your bus stop.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Mounting pressure this afternoon on the government from farmers in St. Thomas to fix the farm roads. But as you'll hear in this report, the government insists work has started. A workshop in Jonespen, St. Thomas, put on by the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority.
We want to ensure that we bring back coffee and cocoa to its former glory in this area here.
The workshop geared towards creating more opportunities for farmers in the community and improving the quality of the crops produced in the area also saw representatives from Hart NSTA. For years, coffee farmers in St. Thomas and rural St. Andrew have complained that prices are too low. Complaints too about the state of the road leading to the communities and the tedious process of transporting goods.
I feel mash up, man. I feel cut up. I mean, we come like a river coat me driving and come up here, man. To God, man, on road no there, man. And I say people, them live there, try. Why government do? Man, know what I do? Help the whole poor people, them.
Road, in a critical condition. Yeah, so the vehicle is a problem. To get out the load, to get out sick and everything. In that road, I want to carry a load. Like if I go shopping, problem to come in.
We put the concerns to Agriculture Minister Floyd Green. He insists work is ongoing.
We are placing special focus on our coffee and cocoa areas. In fact, we have allocated more than 50% of the additional $200 million to help our coffee and cocoa farmers. And we presently have 8 roads under construction in our coffee and cocoa areas across Portland, across St. Thomas, across East Rural and West Rural St. Andrew.
That aside, this farmer explained that children are also at risk. As we observed a student walking along the roadway, one pointed to the dangers that lurk, especially at nights.
Enough awareness here because a whole heap of wild man come to this town. Some we don't know them, some of them when you're ready then fire them to pistol. We have the boats, then put them away. We have the coffee, take night and pick it, so we're born in this community in a whole heap of style.
Meanwhile, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says he's taken note of the concerns raised by farmers and he's working to bolster the allocation to $1 billion. Residents of Central Kingston staged a peaceful protest Thursday to demand justice for the killing of Jermaine Richards, also known as Sandakan. He was allegedly shot and killed by police at a popular bar and nightclub in St. Andrew Wednesday night. On Thursday, residents armed with placards protested in the community where he lived.
We woke up this morning and get a call that they kill him. Police officer kill him on his workplace and the premises. Dispute with him and him box him down and step over him and give him multiple shots. Now we'll go to Tranquility, no Jermaine. We'll go to Public, no Jermaine. His family member just found out that he's at UC Hospital. Found him into a body bag. Come on, what's the motive? Jermaine Richards is no gunman. Sandakan is no gunman. Good youth, a father of 3. And he mind his 3 children. Nobody reached 10-year-old. Huh? Right now his mother have him and his brothers and sister and filing. No story, no capping. What we going to tell this mom now?
It's time for a break. Stay with us, more local stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. The Trelawney police say they will be doing more this year to reduce crime in the division. Head of the division, Superintendent Winston Milton, gave this update at a recent church service in Bounty Hall.
For last year, 2024, we ended the year with a total of 98 serious and violent crime. This is as against 119 for the previous year. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a reduction against the previous year. It's a reduction of 21 or 18%.
Superintendent Milton adds there will be more strategic approach to gang violence in the area.
Last year, we have been able to suppress the activities of criminal gangs within our space. Of the 5 gangs that we have been tracking last year, only 1 have been active, and I must publicly state this. It's the Black 5 gang from out of Clarkstown. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going on an all-out effort as we treat with this particular gang, because gang and gangsters have no place within the Trelawney Parish.
It's time for the Business Minute.
There's concern about the production capacity in Jamaica for the export market. Jamaica's Consul General to the southern U.S., Oliver Meir, says based on discussions he's had with importers in his area, there are a number of inconsistencies. One such is the wait time for the produce to arrive, and the other not being able to meet the demands of the diaspora.
There's an opportunity for us as Jamaica acting as one, as a company, as an organization. We meet together, strategize. How can we line up the production planning around these crops to meet the demand and identify challenges in between and deal with them? It involves far more in-depth planning, in my opinion, so that we can capitalize on the opportunities that exist right in the diaspora, just for our people, and then we can spread, because everybody who try our food love it.
Further afield, Japan's central bank has increased the cost of borrowing to its highest level in 17 years after consumer price rises accelerated in December. The move by the Bank of Japan to raise its short-term policy rate to around 0.5% comes just hours after the latest economic data showed prices rose last month at the fastest pace in 16 months. The bank's governor signaled this latest rate hike in advance in a bid to avoid another market shock. According to official figures released on Friday, core consumer prices in Japan increased by 3% in December from a year earlier. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In Trinidad and Tobago, the final report on an investigation in the 2023 cybersecurity breach is scheduled to be submitted to the Minister of Public Utilities, Marvin Gonzalez, today. On October 9, 2023, Telecommunication Services of Trinidad and Tobago, TSTT, reported that cyber attackers attempted to gain unauthorized access to its systems. The ransomware attack led to 6 gigabytes of customer data being stolen and posted on the dark web. On the international scene, federal efforts to stop illegal immigration are broadening to include new policies for federal agencies. A new Homeland Security Directive lets more federal agencies identify and arrest people in the country unlawfully. It applies to the FBI, DEA, AFT, and more. Meanwhile, the Justice Department is threatening to prosecute officials who protect so-called sanctuary cities. The ACLU and 11 attorneys general call that unconstitutional. President Donald Trump's border cesar argues it would make the country safer and reduce collateral arrests. The administration also is allowing ICE agents to make arrests in places like schools and churches. And those are the top regional and international stories.
We now head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.